The devastating nature of the 170-page revelation left little room for negotiation. For those who follow the legal world, such an expansive trove is rare. Documents compiled that thoroughly usually represent months of methodical gathering, likely unstoppable once the process is underway. Meanwhile, major celebrities who once associated with Blake and Ryan appear to be staying silent. The usual flood of supportive tweets or Instagram posts is absent. The hush suggests a widespread calculation. No one wants to defend a person who may have lied extensively, nor do they wish to become embroiled in a potential lawsuit themselves. This climate of caution indicates how carefully the industry is trying to protect itself from any involvement that might lead to further reputational fallout. Another element that has captured attention is the possibility that references to mental strain in newly filed materials could provide insight into Blake's strange decisions. However, many argue that feeling pressured does not justify orchestrating an entire campaign of distortions. While empathy might exist for those dealing with personal challenges, the overall mood toward her remains unforgiving. Most see her as the instigator who used social and media platforms to harm someone else's image, only to have the gambit blow up spectacularly. Even coverage of the case has grown comedic in tone. Observers marvel at how claims made in her lawsuit are contradicted so directly by the evidence provided by Baldoni's side. The stark difference between flamboyant statements and verified facts has led some to joke that the lawsuit reads like a script from a melodramatic show, rather than a legitimate legal dispute. The repeated reference to a shifting story only strengthens the impression that the entire strategy was an elaborate performance piece, unraveling under basic scrutiny. Those intimately familiar with the situation believe Blake's best recourse might be a complete pivot, an open acknowledgement that her narrative was inaccurate. Yet the likelihood of such a move is small. Her brand, built over years, hinged on careful curation, and a public reversal would mean admitting wrongdoing on a grand scale. The damage to her already beleaguered reputation would be enormous, though continued resistance could lead to even worse consequences in court. The irony is that early in her career, she was revered for style, wit, and a polished presence. Over time, that positive image has been overshadowed by rumors of behind-the-scenes arrogance and a knack for controlling media coverage to maintain a saintly persona. The latest meltdown sets a record for how swiftly admiration can transform into scorn, especially when fans realize they might have been misled. Social media no longer plays along with illusions, as many are quick to expose contradictory details and hold celebrities accountable. One of the most shocking details is the apparent fracture in their marriage. Amid the turmoil, she faces a collapse in public favor, as observers brace for the fallout of a scandal that appears poised to deliver a final blow to any remaining support. The entire debacle began when Blake launched a lawsuit filled with startling allegations aimed at Baldoni.
Big mistake. You see, she paints Blake Lively as the victim. Not a victim of Baldoni, although I'm sure she believes that, but the victim of other women who are ruining Blake's reputation for daring to accuse a man of sexual harassment.
Some have criticized Blake for attempting to rope in industry power players, such as Taylor Swift, as part of her pressure tactics on set. The rumor mill suggests that these moves were meant to intimidate or influence negotiations with Baldoni, although tangible proof of that is debated outside of the official filings. Nevertheless, certain sources confirm that the singer was less than pleased to be brought into this fiasco. Observers note that Swift's team has tried to remain neutral, not wishing to be entangled in claims involving potential manipulations.
Poor Hugh has got some serious remorse about participating in this, I have to imagine.
Exposing how PR spin had overshadowed direct verifiable material.
And there are just a number of inconsistencies in Blake's story that people are wondering, like, how could the New York Times, which is an established publication, run an article with a lot of these, without doing their due diligence of, really looking into her allegation.
Media insiders note that the couple might be living separately and that hostility has become evident, overshadowing any sense of unity they once displayed. Some suspect that Blake's single-minded pursuit of this lawsuit created tension that Ryan tried to manage but could not contain. If that friction escalates into a complete split, it would add another layer of spectacle. Divorce rumors have already flared, and many think it is only a matter of time before official news breaks. Fans who used to celebrate them as a perfect power couple have turned disillusioned. The idea of them being unstoppable in romance, unstoppable in success, has eroded under the avalanche of scandal. Some comment sections now accuse them both of deceit and hypocrisy. highlighting how easily they manipulated the public narrative. The notion of a united front has diminished, replaced by cynicism about how celebrities conduct business behind closed doors. At this stage, the dominant question is not whether Blake will lose, but when. The lawsuit's momentum has shifted drastically, and her defensive maneuvers look increasingly desperate. Court watchers anticipate the next steps will involve further unveiling of evidence, depositions, and cross-examinations that might reveal additional truths. If the protective orders her team requested are not granted, the revelations could be even more damaging, leaving little chance for her to recover from the fallout. What remains certain is that the entire ordeal has transformed Blake's once-envied position into an unparalleled cautionary tale. She is widely seen as the villain whose downfall is unfolding in real time. Her attempts to preserve a cherished image have collided with undeniable facts, showing how swiftly Hollywood can shift its stance when it detects foul play. Even if she tries to salvage her career, memories of this will likely follow every new project or interview. An added layer to the mounting pressure involves private conversations that have yet to be fully unveiled. Many suspect that a deeper trove of messages between Blake, her PR strategists, and individuals in the media could reveal the extent to which certain outlets were manipulated. If depositions and discovery go forward, those behind-the-scenes exchanges might surface. The result could be severe reputational setbacks for everyone who participated in shaping a factually questionable story. No matter how skillful the public relations approach, it becomes nearly impossible to spin raw data when it appears in official records. Lately, gossip has circulated that even Blake's friends and close acquaintances are advising her to concede and move on. Whether that means issuing an apology, admitting to misleading claims, or reaching a settlement remains unclear. But the near-unanimous recommendation is to end this ordeal. The potential for more humiliating disclosures in court is sky high, and the only real question seems to be how thoroughly the details will tarnish not just her, but also Ryan Reynolds, whose brand success was part of their joint image. Social media discussions have grown more intense and critical. Early on, some fans sided with Blake, citing her claims of being cornered by a powerful film production. But as more evidence piled up, it became evident that she was not the cornered one. Instead, the data indicated she had orchestrated moves to rewrite circumstances, using influential press contacts and a personal network to bolster stories that did not align with the behind-the-scenes reality. The prevailing online opinion now views her as the ringleader of a grandiose ploy. If true, that further paints Blake as someone wielding personal connections in questionable ways, angering her own friends and the public. Another figure who has been noted is Anna Kendrick, who at times was around Blake for a project. There have been suggestions that recent encounters between them have been incredibly awkward, with minimal warmth evident. It appears that those who once shared the stage with Blake are now keeping a distance, unwilling to be implicated in her media storm.
The New York Times was in collusion with Blake Lively's team to put out this hit piece to take out Justin Baldoni.
This isolation serves to reinforce the notion that Blake's standing within her professional and personal circles has declined sharply. Those closest to this courtroom spectacle note that the real turning point was the unveiling of hundreds of pages of documents. Very few expected such extensive records to come to light. The revelations exposed contradictory statements on Blake's side. Various accusations were tossed out, apparently without reliable supporting proof. Her public relations strategists and allies worked overtime to convince the media that she was the wounded party. For a while, certain outlets fell in line and ran sympathetic narratives. However, things took a dramatic turn when hard evidence emerged. Watching one of the most recognized newspapers face such allegations of irresponsible journalism underscored the gravity of the fiasco.